We have designed homes worth crores. And the one thing that quietly ruins most of them, it's not the budget and it's not even the design. It's the simple decisions that were made even before an architect ever enters the room.
This office has had a lot of conversations between you and the clients, between you and the contractors, among the team members. All those conversations about how a space should feel like, how the people living inside the space should feel like. But these conversations have never been publicly. So today, this is us starting and bringing that conversation out publicly.
Sure. Thank you, Priyanka, for being here today and for asking all of these candid questions. We have been working really hard in the videos domain, or as you say, the social media thing right now. Like we work, we make a lot of videos, we spread knowledge about architecture and about interior design. So this topic and this idea that you came up with, that having more candid thoughts of what's going on actually in an office with us and how we are responding to it. So we are totally on for this. Let's start.
100%. Okay, first of all, leaving it all aside, sir, are you comfortable with the conversation, with everything that you have to tell?
Yes, totally comfortable. Yes.
Great. Let's start with it then. So let's start from the beginning. Architecture. So was it the plan since the beginning? Were you always behind this thing, or did it find you somewhere in between and you just felt going after it?
Honestly, architecture is not something that I had planned from beginning. It is something that actually happened with me. I kept on gravitating more and more towards it. So as a young kid, I was always more into being creative, drawings, and thinking more about the built form, thinking how a space is built, how an interiors can be designed and everything. But it was never the plan for me to actually become an architect. But it was something that actually happened on its own, and I chose it and I started loving it. Whenever the moment I entered an architecture college, from day one, when we started studying about architectural design, about building construction, about architectural drawings, and completing all of our assignments, sheets, I was actually loving the entire process of the college. So it's something that actually happened, and I think I was born to do it. That's why God chose it for us.
That sounds great. That is an amazing answer. Okay, so moving ahead, moving forward, was there a specific moment, a building, a client, a project where something happened, something shifted for you specifically?
There have been many moments, honestly, till now. But the one moment that actually shaped my ideology of designing today is that, back in 2017, when I had just recently started my practice, I was just an year old into my own personal practice.
Okay.
And so I met a client. They had a 2-canal house, they still have a 2-canal house in Sector 18, Chandigarh. And they wanted me to renovate that house. So they were already speaking to many other architects before me. And they had got their designs also made from them, but they were not satisfied with the outcome of those designers. So when I visited their space, the moment I visited it, I actually loved the aura and the overall scheme of that area and how that aura was making you feel. And there was a very nice central courtyard in that space, which I actually I appreciated the client for having it, and I told them that this is the central heart of the house and we should design the entire house around it. And they really loved that idea of mine, and that's how we actually planned it. We never broke down the courtyard, the entrance courtyard for them, designed the entire house around it. And they loved that idea, and it was a turning point for me, because I felt that whenever I have to design in the future for any client, I don't have to design for myself. I have to design keeping in mind the client, their family, and their respect and their family traditions in mind. So we have to design first practically and functionally for them, and then get the aesthetics factor maybe in it. So yeah, so that was my turning point of when we actually try to learn more about a client. We have to listen first about their requirements and then design it. So that was the turning point, and I think we are still following it in our office.
So that was the breakthrough where you started connecting less with the papers and more with the people. That is when you started feeling it well.
Yes. We have to do that. It's all, whenever I get any new inquiry for any project, I always tell a client that, let's sit and talk first. And they are like, yeah, let's sit and talk. But what's your price, please? on the phone itself. And normally I tell them that price is secondary. First, it's important for both of us to sit and
Have a
match,
conversation.
have a conversation first. So yeah, that's maybe we can talk it in about this in some other
Perfect.
chapter or in some other video. But normally people what they ask me is that so हमारा per square foot कितना खर्चा आएगा सारा सारा. I understand that budget is a constraint for everyone and they have this question a lot. But I always tell them that budget, the overall the costing, the sort of materials, everything comes second. First, let's talk. Let's understand what are your requirements. You also come and see me whether I am suited for designing your home or not. That's the most important thing, even more than seeing how the home will look like and or how much it's going to cost.
That is the, I would say that is the factor that is differentiating you from other architects. Like there are many people involved in the business, but Digvijay architects, they connect with people, they want to talk and know them, and then want to deliver
Yes,
the masterpiece.
yes, we always try that.
So, sir, you've been doing this for years now. Real clients, real projects, and real time pressure that you've been handling. What is something that you have learned, or something that the real projects taught you that no design school could ever?
The thing that I have learned is to not take things personally at all. Whenever we design for a client, we come up with 2 or 3 options. We make a design plan, we make a layout for them, and every client has a vision for them that we want our room in this direction, we want our foyer to look like this, we don't want to see the bathroom in this way, we want the walk-in wardrobe to maybe have a dresser inside or not to have a dresser inside, or have long mirrors or anything. So it's not to take those things personally. If a client is asking for a change, make that change for them if it is technically possible as per you as an architect. It's okay to do changes.
Exactly.
And it's okay to do as many revisions as possible for the client itself, because ultimately the client is the end user. We should not be forcing something too much on any single person. So we should let them breathe. We should tell them that this is how the way it should be done. And normally whenever I see all of my clients going for asking me for changes and everything, and if those changes are viable and they are technically possible, they are not coming into my aesthetics and everything, and even if I feel that this is a much better solution to it, I always do it. I never take things onto my ego, and that's the best way of designing for a client. And yes,
That is a great approach professionally and personally, I would say. And that is again a distinction. And that is rather a way ahead to collaborate with clients, to make them feel like it is their house after all. It is theirs to live in,
Yes.
their house or any building that they are planning.
Yeah.
They are the ones, as you said, the end user.
Yeah.
So that approach, that learning is a must and great.
see, they are the end user. And अगर कोई client बहुत different कोई difficult चीज़ बोल देते हैं, and I tell them that no, let's not do this. And अगर मुझे technically भी गलत लग रही है, design wise also it is looking really odd. So I'll tell them honestly, this is not the way it should be done. Still, if you want to do it, let's go ahead. But you don't have my green signal in it.
Okay.
And I will not say 99%, 100% of the client is convinced by my thoughts, because ultimately they have come to me as a professional for guidance when it comes to designing. So everyone listens to you, and we should also listen to them equally.
Did you always feel that way, or was it something that you had to? I'm talking about taking things professionally, not taking them personally to you, as you talked about. So was this approach of yours always a part of you? Has it been something that you had to unlearn? You had learned during your practice, all these years of experience?
I had to unlearn about this.
Okay.
The previous experiences that I have had with other architecture firms. So I will not say that I had learned something wrong in it, but there were some practices that I did learn, which I felt in my practice I don't want to follow. And I had to, learn things on my own, evolve on my own, with my own thoughts. And I think that's a much better way of learning, khud galti karo aur seekho. I'm still unlearning. There are still some really bad habits when it comes to designing or when it comes to dealing with people. We are trying to change, we are trying to evolve, we are trying to improve for sure.
Again, a great approach. Okay, so last one for this part. I have this question for you, sir, that I'm very curious about personally too. I want to ask you, if you were just starting out as an architect right now, what advice, what suggestion, or what feedback out of your experience would you give to your younger self right away?
I would tell a young Digvijay that don't wait to be seen and don't wait for outside approvals and running after awards, running after those young design awards and running after कि मेरे को उस मैगजीन में प्रिंट करना है अपना आर्टिकल या मुझे वहाँ पे ये वाला अवार्ड चाहिए उसके लिए अप्लाई करूँ. ओनली देन गेटिंग an actual feeling of winning, or actually feeling that we are actually running a good practice. So it's a young Digvijay. I would just tell this boy that just enjoy your work, do good, enjoy your work, listen to your clients, do good work for them, enjoy your weekends as well. Hana, don't take things so seriously, don't go into too much stress that अच्छा मुझे काम करना है, मुझे यहाँ पे बढ़ना है, वहाँ बढ़ना है, सारा का सारा. Ultimately, architecture is just a part of our life. Our life is not architecture. For example, right now, if I'm working from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. until in the evening, I'm just an architect from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And after that, I'm just Digvijay. That's it. It's not to take things home, keep on stressing about it, because it is something that I have been doing since the last 12 years or something. That thinking too much about work. शाम को घर जाके भी काम क्या सोच रहे हैं, स्ट्रेस ले रहे हैं. अच्छा उसने ये बोला, उस क्लाइंट का ये काम है, इसका ये काम है. ठीक है बॉस, 6 बज गए हैं, अपना आराम करो, enjoy करो. इतना टाइम लाइट architecture is just a part of your life. इतना seriously मत लो किसी चीज़ को.
Of course. So you are suggesting that a work-life balance is a must in any field, of course architecture we are talking about.
Yes.
So when you switch on your work mode, you need to be into it. When it is the time to end it, you suggest that people should, or rather you would say that it is just the time to switch off and turn into somebody that you are at your home, at your place, the real you, the one that you want to be around your family, right? And the second thing that you said...
See, what you just said again about work-life balance, I am still learning to do that.
Said than done.
It's easier said than done.
Yeah.
For a young... अभी बोल रहा था younger Digvijay इतना work-life balance बना के रखना सब कुछ. अभी भी मेरी life में नहीं है work-life balance.
Okay.
I am still learning to not take so much stress. I keep on having these conversations with my family as well that Digvijay इतना नहीं सोचते, इतना नहीं करते. अभी मैं यहाँ कैमरा के सामने जरूर बोल रहा हूँ ये वाली चीज़ that ऐसे करना चाहिए. I still don't follow it to 100%, but हाँ कुछ percentage, yes, you can say that. I always try that not to work on weekends, Sundays off रखो, tension मत लो. तो उस तरीके से we are trying to evolve, we are trying to set better systems in the office. Yes, that is something that I would want to tell younger Digvijay that make your office more systematic, have better systems, have better processes in the office so that things are more streamlined and you're also at peace.
Great. I think this has been a great conversation. And the people watching it must be wanting more out of it. I'm very sure of that. So should we tell them what's coming?
Sure.
Coming ahead?
Yes. So part 2 is where things will get more practical. More about practical knowledge of architecture and what all have I learned over the last 12-15 years while practicing architecture. There were some mistakes that I made myself. There were some mistakes that my clients had thought of before coming to me. And they had some doubts which we clearly cleared. And it is all going to be about the mistakes that they have done while designing their homes, what we did while learning with them.